All right, this is the end of the night. This is the main event. When I fucking say this guy's name, I want you guys to go ape shit. I want you guys to get fucking wild, like when that serve money hit your bank account and you're like, yo, this was for real. Like, I need that energy, okay? That energy. Toronto, get ready for your headline. You guys ready? You guys ready for your headline? Let's keep the applause go. Give it up for your headliner tonight, Marwan Mouneimne.
Hello, Toronto. How y'all doing? You guys ordered a belly dancing show, right? Oh, my bad. It's a comedy show. How's everybody doing? Thank you for coming out. Look at us. We made it. Oh, damn. Well, my name is Marwan Mouneimne. I know, it's a very interesting name. It's an Arabic name, actually. I'm Lebanese and Iraqi. For those that don't know what that's like if Baba Ganoush and Mama Hummus hooked up. This is basically what happened. But I gathered you all tonight here is because I wanted to share a story, if that's okay. You guys want to hear a story about how I saved America once? Yeah. Well, it all started in Beirut, Lebanon, 1999. I was living with my parents and my sister. My parents decided, hey, let's move over to America, to chase the American dream, land of opportunity, to build a better life. So, we packed up our bags, we flew overseas, and we landed in the good old southern state of Virginia. Yeah, it's fucked up. I didn't choose it, guys. It was not my choice. But it's okay. I'm grateful for growing up there. I learned a lot of things, so many different cultural differences. Like one of the first things I noticed was how different schools were run. I remember the first day of school in Virginia, we were giving a little tour. And they're like, all right, buddy, the first stop is the classroom. I was like, wow, look at this place. Colored walls, books on the ground, big Macintosh computer, a window with a view. Wow. And then the teacher's like, all right, buddy, we're going to show you where recess is. I'm like, this isn't where recess is? She's like, no, we're going to take you to the jungle gym. I'm like, you have a jungle? Wow. So we went to the jungle, and I saw this beautiful castle-like structure with slides, swings, and seesaws, Kids running around happy. I'd never seen that. In Lebanon, it wasn't like that. No, I went to this school called Bayadir, and we had one break during the day, and in that break, we all had to form in a single form line and march like we're going to jihad war. And we're all secretly chanting, God is great. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And they would take us out into this empty lot, a square empty lot with tall walls barricading us in. Do you know what happens when you put a couple of hundred kids in an empty lot with nothing to do? World War III happens. Armageddon. I remember the teacher would say the same thing every day. She would look at us and raise her arms and say, Happy Hunger Games. May the odds ever be in your favor. And she'd turn around and be like, no, bitch, don't leave me. I'm going to die. All I would hear is Muhammad behind me jumping, saying, I kill you. Next stop on the tour was the cafeteria. Yo, that place was madness. That place was like the New York Stock Exchange, but for kids. Yeah, because all I saw were these capitalist little monsters being like, yo, man, I got the latest toasted strudels, man. What do you got, man? It's like, yo, man, I got the latest strawberry Pop-Tarts. Supply, demand, supply, demand. I remember this one kid came up to me and he's like, I have vanilla pudding. What do you have? I look down, I look up. I have hummus. He's like, ew, I don't know what that is. What's that? I look down. Cow tongue. Yeah, I know. We eat cow tongue. We don't waste it like you. You know what the best part of the cafeteria was? If you didn't bring your lunch, don't worry about it. You could buy it for $1. In Lebanon, it wasn't like that. No, you either brought your Lebanese cheese and cucumber sandwich that your mama made you, and if you didn't, well, you really got the third world treatment. You starved, duh. Everything was different, man. Everything was different. I remember they put me in this class called ESL. Anybody heard of that? Yeah? It's crazy. Because I was the only one speaking English. Like, I sat down there, I went up to the teacher, and I'm like, what does ESL stand for? And she's like, English as a second language. I'm like, how is that ESL? There's an as and an A after the English. I think you should be in this class. And then she'd be like, repeat after me. You are a boy. And I'd look at her and say, you are as a stupid. Get the fuck out of here. I was born in Canada, man. I know English. But I guess because I got immigrant parents, I must be illiterate to them. It's crazy. Simple things were so different. Something so simple like my name. My name was no longer my name. Anybody here with a strong ethnic name will understand that when you move over to the West, your name's going to get butchered. It's going to be pronounced ways you never even thought were possible. You know, my name is Marwan Mouneimne, right? So I remember I was sitting down in 6th grade, minding my own business, playing with my little Crayolas, when the intercom comes on. Yes, can we have a Martin Mahogany come to the office, please? I didn't answer, because that's not my name. Teacher comes up to me, she's like, sweetie, they're calling you. I'm like, bitch, how? Like, listen, I came to this country, my name is Marwan. You guys started calling me Marwan. So Martin, I'll let it slide. But mahogany, it's fucking wood. That was 6th grade. 7th grade got a little more interesting. The Latinos saw my name and whoo, baby, they had some fun. I remember I was walking down the hallway and this guy Jose came up to me walking like this. He's like, hey, vato, you one of us? I'm like, I don't think so. He's like, you look like one of us. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Marwan. He's like, ¿qué? I'm like, Marwan. He's like, marijuana. Everybody thought I was a marijuana dealer after that. But 8th grade was by far the most interesting. I remember it was the first week of school, you know? New beginnings, new year. I was excited. The first week of school was a little off, though. The mood was way off. I remember I walked into school and I saw a bunch of kids surrounding these TV stations. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? And I look at the TV, I was like, oh my God, that's my name. Yo, my name's on TV, I'm famous. Everybody looks at me all shocked, like, what? I'm like, yeah, look, Marwan. This girl next to me was bawling her ass out. She's like, what? I was like, oh, sweetie, I know this is the first time you're meeting someone famous, but don't worry, I'll get you an autograph later. She runs off. I didn't understand why. So, you know, I got home because I was so excited to tell my parents. So after school, I went home. I saw my mom and dad. I'm like, Mama, Baba, guess what? They're like, what? I'm like, I'm famous. They're like, what? How? I'm like, look. I grabbed the remote. I turn on the TV. I'm like, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. Marwan. That's me. My parents look at each other in complete silence. Like my dad, you know when your parents are in silence, but they're having a silent conversation? And you can hear the silent conversation? Like my dad was looking at my mom and was like, you better tell him or I'm gonna throw him outside the balcony. So my mom proceeds to explain to me that the reason why I was so famous is because a pilot named Marwan decided to hijack a plane and crash it into the World Trade Center on 9/11. Yeah, not good for your boy Marwan. And then my parents were kept on looking at each other like they're having the silent conversation, thinking that I don't know what's going on. Like my dad was looking at my mom being like, how is he this stupid? My mom's like, I don't know. I loved him. I fed him hummus all day. We can't bet on him in our retirement. Put all the chips in the other child. So, I went to school the next day, and I sat down in class, again, minding my own business. And the intercom goes on. Yes, can we have a Marwan Mouneimne come to the office, please? Yo, I was offended this time. Monogamy? Do they know who I am? I'm Muslim. How you gonna say I'm monogamous? I get 4 wives in my religion, thank you very much. Y'all forget, we're the OGs of poly. Anyways, I skedaddle to the principal's office. I knock on the door, pop up. He's like, Marlon, come in, take a seat. I'm like, I guess I'm fucking Marlon today. So I sit down, and he's like, so, do you remember what happened yesterday? You telling kids you were famous? I was like, oh, shit. I told all those kids that I was the terrorist, didn't I? He's like, you did. He's like, you understand the severity of the situation, right, Marwan? You understand how this poorly reflects badly on your name, the attack on our country, everything involved. I was like, I know. But at least they know my name, man. Jesus Christ, why I gotta be such a Debbie Downer? Haven't you heard of bad publicity is good publicity sometimes? Let your boy shine. But everything was different after that. My life changed after that. My family's life changed after it. Because you see, 9/11 was a tragedy. It was one of the most horrendous attacks ever on America. But it wasn't just an attack on America. It was an attack on Islam. You see, our religion is supposed to be a peaceful way of life and respect and love. But the American mass media machine let a few bad apples paint over 1 billion people into enemies of the state. And it wasn't just Muslims. If you looked the part, you could be a Hindu Indian and you could be guilty. My parents had just come to this country, less than 2 years, and they pursued a better way of life for us, a better future. But within 2 years, because of that attack, we became the enemy. We all had that talk. Every Muslim family had that talk. Don't voluntarily say you're Muslim. Don't voluntarily say you're Arabic. We had to hide who we were. It felt like we were ashamed of who we were. And I knew right there and then my name wasn't gonna help. I can't hide that I'm Arab. This is there forever. But maybe I could change my name. Maybe I could change it to something else so they can, trick them a little bit. So I thought to myself, there's this name called Max. I've heard it. I don't know where I got it from, but I remember it was unique. In school, nobody had it. It was 3 letters, so they can't fuck that up. You know what the best part was? It sounded white. It sounded so white that they could even think I'm Jewish. That's right, baby. Undercover Islam. Man, life did change after that. But it was good because afterwards I learned a lot about racism. And I remember that white people didn't want to hang out with me, Because I learned also, my skin color was brown to them, which was fucking news to me, okay? Because listen, when someone tells me a color, I have one reference guide. It's called the Crayola box, okay? So I remember they would say brown. So I would take out the brown Crayola and I would look at it, and I would look at it real good. And I'd think to myself, this looks more like Devante. It also looks like Sundeep. I'm more like caramel, okay? But it wasn't just that. It was everybody had a different skin color, whether you were brown, black, white, yellow. I never understood yellow. Have you seen Chinese and Korean people? They're whiter than white people. If anything, they deserve the white privilege. They're the OGs of white. And they got that switched around. But yeah, I mean, I had maybe like 1 or 2 white friends, that's it. Because they did not want to hang out with me. But that's okay. Because black people embraced me. That's right, the streets embraced me. It was fantastic. I remember I made this buddy named Antoine. And Antoine came from a Jamaican-American household. Yeah. Pop, pop. That's my Jamaican brethren. But yeah, we would hang out after school. And I remember one day I was walking home from school and he sees me. He's like, yo, what's up, B? I'm like, yo, what's up, Antoine? He's like, yo, what's up, my I was like, what? I'm like, why did you call me that, Antoine? I thought that word was reserved for you and your people amongst yourselves. He's like, yeah, dog, you one of us. Word? I didn't know. He's like, yeah, what do we do after school? I'm like, we go to your house. He's like, what do we do there? I'm like, we watch BET and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's like, yo, dog, the proof's in the pudding, fam. I start panicking. I'm like, oh my God, who am I? Who am I? I've been living a lie. Who am I? Oh my God. And he sees me panicking, so he tries to console me. He puts his hand on my shoulder. He's like, my bad, dog. I wasn't politically correct. You my sand. I'm like, I'm made out of sand? How's that supposed to make me feel better? So I storm out of the house. I run home. I see my mom. I'm like, Mom. She's like, what? I'm like, are we black? She's like, what? Don't be ridiculous. I'm like, don't lie to me, Mom. Who's my father? Who is it? She's like, astaghfirullah, get out. I knew she was hiding something. So I was going to get to the bottom of this myself. So I did what anybody else would do when they're having an identity crisis. That's right. I went to Ancestry.com. So I went up to my sister, and I was like, can you order me a kit? She's like, okay, no problem. So the kit finally comes, and I opened it up, and it's like this little Q-tip, like swab thingy. And I was like, oh, there's only one place this can go. Oh my God. Huh? Oh, put it in your mouth. Okay. I sent it off. I had 3 weeks to wait until I got my results. So I was like, what am I going to do with this time? I might as well learn more about my newly discovered culture. That's right. So I started listening to Tupac Shakur, watched some Martin Luther King speeches. I even, started watching some rom-coms, between LL Cool J and Queen Latifah. Yeah, because if I want black love, I got to learn from the best. So, I thought about it more. I'm like, if I'm really serious about this, I need to make a long-term investment. I need to learn the language of my newly discovered brothers and sisters. So I went to UrbanDictionary.com. Yeah, I looked up some patois. And I looked it up, and I learned a little bit. So next time I was at Antoine's house, I saw his mom in the kitchen. She's like, hi, sweetie, how you doing? I'm like, yo, wagwan, my youth. Antoine's mother looked at me with deathly eyes. And this is all she did. Boy, if you ever say that again to me, I'm going to wrap you up in a little box. I'm going to ship you off from where you came from. I'm like, okay, mama. Sorry. So, I go off and I get home. And I see the results on the table. I was like, oh, my God. Let me look at it. And I opened it up. And I was like, oh, it told me what I knew all along. So I went to my mother. I slammed the results on the table. I was like, look at the results, Mom. Look at it. So she opens it up. She starts reading. And she's like, what am I looking at, Marwan? It says you're Middle Eastern. I'm like, keep looking. You know how they break out the different ethnic groups? It's like, okay, Arabic, Persian, Indian, 100% halal. Alhamdulillah. She keeps looking, she looks looking. Marwan, it says you're 1% Bantu African. I'm like, I fucking knew it, Mom. You've been lying to me my whole life. Who's my father? Who's my real father? She looks at me, slaps me across the face, and I knew. It's Will Smith, isn't it? That's how I discovered I was black. It was fantastic, man. Great discoveries. Oh, man. You know, I also started noticing how different immigrant parents would raise their kids versus American parents, specifically white American parents, okay? Like, I was over at my buddy TJ's house, one of the 2 white friends that I had. And I was in his room, and, you know, we were looking at that old school Best Buy flyer. You remember those? And he's like, yo, the new Mortal Kombat game came out. Let's go get it. I'm like, yo, how? We don't have $40. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. Mom! What are you doing, TJ? Mom! I'm like, why are you yelling at your mama? Mom, I'm talking to you! He looks at me, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm climbing out the window, bro. There's about to be a murder scene here. You talking to your mama like that? He's like, stop being so dramatic. Yes, sweetie? Yes, sweetie. I need $40. Okay, just take it out of my wallet. What? It's that easy? He's like, yeah, you don't ask your parents for money? I'm like, no. My parents give me coupons. He says, oh, you should try it sometime. I'm like, maybe I should. Maybe I will. So, you know, on the way home, I start practicing. Baba! No, I'm gonna die. Don't do that. He's gonna martyr you. Don't do that. Oh, no. Baba, yes, that's better. Can I have $20, please? Be modest, Marwan. Be modest. So I get home, and, you know, I did what any other Arab kid would do when they enter an Arab household. They salute the President of the Republic. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, my father. You kiss the ring, my liege. I go up to him like, Baba, can I have $20, please? He's like, huh? $20? For what? I'm like, to buy a game? He's like, game? Come here, تعال هون. Come here, تعال هون. اقعد, sit down, okay. Sits me down in front of his old school Windows 2000 PC. He's like, okay, go to start. I'm like, okay. Go to programs. Okay. Go to games. Okay. Now go to free games. Play solitaire. I'm like, what? No! Solitaire! He's like, oh, I forgot. Here's a coupon. Why do I need a coupon for 99-cent lettuce? You never know. I'm like, damn it, he tricked me. He might have won this battle, but not the war. Because you see, I had a card to play. My birthday was coming up. And everybody at school was talking about this new Xbox coming out, the first one ever. So, you know, I start putting in subtle hints at home. My dad would be like, Marwan, bring me the olives. I'd be like, yes, Xbox on the way. He's like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it. Subliminal messaging. Islam, baby. So the day finally comes. My birthday. So, you know, I get home. Nobody's there. I sit down and I just wait for my father. And I wait. And wait. And wait. And then he barges in the door with his hand behind his back. He looks at me and says, Marwan, I have the best birthday present ever. I'm like, yeah? What is it? What is it? Show me, silly. What is it? Takes out his hand and hands me a pizza flyer. I'm like, what is this, Baba? Is this what's for dinner tonight? He's like, no, It's your present. It's where you work now. I got you a job. I'm like, why? He's like, because you asked me for money, for Xbox, blah, blah, blah. Now you can work, make your own money, and buy your own things, Marwan. Be grateful. Baba, I'm 13. He's like, exactly, Marwan. Back in our country, at your age, you would be married by now. I would be a grandfather, but sometimes we don't get what we want. Life is not fair, Marwan. Yalla! So after the first shift, I remember my dad calling in the shop. And they're like, your father's on the line. So, I pick up the phone. I'm like, yes, Baba? He's like, Marwan, my favorite son. I'm like, Baba, I'm your only son. Right? He's like, don't get into the technicalities right now. Listen, on your way home, get 2 pizzas and a sub, okay? I'm like, Baba, I only made $20 today. He's like, exactly, you get the discount, consider it tax. Welcome to America, yalla. That was my first job, man. It's crazy looking back at it now. Sometimes we look at our parents, and sometimes we think what they're doing to us is cruel and strict. And what we don't realize sometimes is, as we get older, we start noticing that they maybe were trying to do what they thought was best for us. Because you look back at their lives and you start learning about their lives, and you realize maybe they didn't have such a nice life growing up. Maybe their parents were cruel. Maybe their parents weren't even there. And we just start comparing ourselves to everybody else being spoiled, getting money, doing whatever. And we're like, why can't we have that? Sometimes they sacrifice their dreams by choice, because to them, they want to flip that script in the generation. And within one generation, they want to make sure that that legacy lives on for better prosperity, so we can have the lives that we have today. So give it up to all your parents, the ones that you know gave up what they want so we can be here tonight. And you know what's crazy is he was right. That was the best birthday present I ever got till this day. Because it taught me independence. It taught me to not fend from other people, to not rely on others. That if I want something, I have to work hard for it, make my own money, and buy it myself. Because as nice as this world is, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It'll chew you up, it'll spit you back out. And if you don't know how to take care of yourself, you ain't got a chance. So I remember, I kept on working, and I would come home from school. And I would see my dad watching CNBC. And I'd see these figures like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. I'd be like, wow, I want to be like them when I grow up. Look at these self-made men. And so I started to study them. And I realized that they all solved challenges in their respective industries. And I wanted nice and better things, So I thought to myself, what kind of challenge can I solve? Well, I wanted to reflect back to my age group, something that I can relate to and help my peers. I started thinking, I'm a teenager. Like any other teenage boy, I'm horny all the time. It's true. On top of that, I watch a lot of bad porn. Because porn wasn't like what it is today, right? Today you could find things within seconds, beautifully categorized and filtered. 20 years ago, no, you're probably going on a website like me called xyzfuckmybigtitties.com. And there were just basically a bunch of random videos with one word. You didn't understand the description. They were all pixelated thumbnails. It was like playing Russian roulette. You had no idea what you were going to watch. I started thinking, wow, this must be a real challenge for a lot of other people out there, especially teenage boys. I started thinking about my buddy TJ. I'm like, TJ's probably in his room right now. And he's probably on the same website. And he's trying to find himself a big, busty Latina to jerk off to. But as he's scrolling, what TJ doesn't realize, at our age, we've got about 4 to 5 seconds of playtime till we pop. So, I can imagine, he's just sitting there. He's scrolling down. He's trying to find this Latina. He's scrolling down. He can't find her. He's hard as a rock. He's scrolling down. He's hard as a rock. He's about to pop any second. He starts to panic. He clicks a random video and boom. Next thing you know, he's watching Grandma Nancy. Grandma Nancy and her saggy titties being pummeled by 3 black men with 3 legs. Yo, those BBC videos are fucking rough, man. So as TJ looks at it with shock completely, he pops. Oh, fuck. You know what happens next? I'll tell you what happens. He's fucking angry. He just popped to Grandma Nancy. So he storms out of his room. He storms out of his house. Fuck you, Mom. Okay, sweetie. And he gets it out. He starts wreaking havoc all over the USA. Him and millions of other angry, horny teenage boys. It's a national crisis, ladies and gentlemen. But I was going to help solve that national crisis. So I called up my boys, and I summoned a council meeting at my house. So we gathered together, and we came up with a plan. We were going to make our very own porn website. And we did. It was called boned.com. Our slogan, you're going to need a lot of lotion. That's right, marketing genius. That's why I'm doing stand-up comedy today. So what was so special about this website? Well, it was going to be the first porn website that's going to be categorized and filtered properly, so all these teenage boys can find what they want. And the best part was, we had to manually watch every single video. Yeah. Because we had to categorize and filter properly so TJ can find his Latina. And it was exciting at first. We're watching titties all day. I'm with my boys, entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? It was living the dream, man. It was great. It was an amazing time. But what I didn't realize is how many videos I had to watch of bestiality. For those that don't know what that is, that's when animals and humans have aggressive love. I remember it like yesterday. I was watching Crystal with her beautiful juggernauts bouncing up and down. Next video, it's a horse pummeling a woman. Do you know how big a horse cock is? It's the size of my body. I didn't know that could fit in a human. And I was scared, and I was disgusted. But then my disgust turned into curiosity. Because you see, I was watching Chronicles of Narnia the week before. And I saw centaurs, half human, half horses. And then it clicked. That's how centaurs are made. I was like, oh my God. What's going to happen if millions of women start visiting our website and become successful? And they start watching these bestiality videos and realize that they don't need men. That they can have horses to satisfy them and make beautiful centaur babies. Can you imagine, both of you? Just entertain me this, Just bear with me here. You're like, babe, I think I'm ready for a threesome. And you're like, babe, I've been waiting for that my whole life. Let's fucking do it. So you find someone on Tinder. The night finally comes. You're with your beautiful woman. And you're expecting a sexy girl to walk in. But as the door opens, all you hear is... fucking big-ass horse with his big-ass schlongs fucks both of you, kicks you out, makes beautiful centaur babies with her. I started to imagine. I was like, oh my God. All these women are going to visit my website. They're going to mate with horses and make beautiful centaur babies. They're all hiding in Narnia, waiting for them to come out in the trilogy to conquer our world. I was like, oh my God, this is another national crisis waiting to happen. But I couldn't let that happen. I had to save America. So I shut that shit down. I shut that website down right away. So now when you walk out of here and you're walking in the streets, and you don't have to worry about centaurs or horses stealing your woman. You can thank me, Marwan Mouneimne. That's my time. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I just want to say one word. There's a couple of words here. Just a couple of words before you guys leave. First of all, I want to thank you so much for coming out here, supporting stand-up comedy, supporting live comedy. It means the world to me. Give it up for the Corner Comedy Club. Give it up for Joe, the owner. This is a beautiful venue. I recommend you guys come here anytime. It has always banging headliners coming in, all right? Give it up for all the comics, Keith Pedro, Himanshu Patel, Patrick Hakeem, our lovely bartender over there. Give it up for yourselves, because if you're not here, this wouldn't be possible. So it means the world to me that you guys are here and supporting my dream and making it come true. You know, in 2 weeks marks my first year doing stand-up comedy. And I started actually here on this stage. Thanks to Joe letting us rent out his venue. And him like, who the fuck is this guy trying to rent out my venue? And I surprised my friends, and it was after my birthday dinner. And I stood here. I fucking blanked out. I have no idea what happened that night. But it was an incredible night, and it was a dream, you know. And as the process went on, I started to study the art of comedy and trying to find the purpose of it. And what's my purpose? What's the purpose of my art? And I came down to 3 pillars of it. One, I want you guys to feel joy and feel better when you get out there before you walked in, you know. Secondly, thanks, Shadal. Secondly, I want you guys to learn something new about my culture, about my perspective, about my life, or other people's lives. And thirdly, I want you to be inspired. Because I don't know what you're doing on a day-to-day, you know? Maybe you're living out your dream, and if you are, I'm trying to be like you, you know? I'm trying to pursue mine. But if you're not, I urge you to try something. Even if you're not sure if it's going to be the thing that you fall in love with. What's the worst that can happen? Who the fuck is going to judge you? Don't care about what anybody else thinks. Only care about what you think. And if you find what you love, amazing. And if you don't worry. Try again tomorrow. Dreams don't have deadlines. That's what my boy Juice and my whole team preach all the time. So when you walk out tomorrow, when you wake up, if you're not trying to do something that you're not trying to do, pursue that dream. Give it a shot. You only have one life to live. And that's my time, guys. Thank you so much.
Guys, one more time for Marwan. Jesus. Multi-talented, huh? Give it up for him. Telling jokes and doing motivational speeches after? Who the fuck is this guy? Guys, dreams don't have deadlines. Check out that podcast. I'm on that podcast, man. So check that shit out, man. Thank you guys for coming up. One more time for Corner Comedy Club. All the comics you saw tonight. And Yada, your bartender, please settle up your bills. Peace.